Iga Swiatek is the favorite to win this year's French Open. I'm sure that's no surprise at all, but who joins Iga as the favorites in this year's French Open? What's up, everybody? It's John Eric Poli, and in today's video, we're looking at the favorites to win this year's Women's French Open. It should be a fun tournament, and no surprise at all, as all you guys know, and you heard it right there in the introduction, Iga Swiatek is indeed the favorite. They call her the Queen of Clay for a reason, and that Queen of Clay has looked so good here in 2024 on that clay surface. She finishes second in Germany, her first appearance on clay this year, then goes on to win Madrid, then win in Rome, the dirty double by winning the Madrid Open and the Italian Open there. And let's not forget, she's also won 3 of the last 4 French Open. She's absolutely the favorite, zero questions asked. Now, who's joining her in that category? And that's what the rest of this video is here about today. Let's start with Aryna Sabalenka, absolutely one of the favorites to win this year's French Open. Zero questions asked there. Just look at the way she's been playing as of late. She lost the Madrid final and the Italian Open final to Iga Swiatek. And let's not forget that Madrid Open final, fantastic tennis, so fun to watch, a 3-set thriller that Iga Swiatek was able to just edge out Sabalenka in that matchup. And let's also not forget Sabalenka, semi-finalist in last year's French Open, probably really should have been a finalist in last year's French Open. She kind of blew that matchup there against Karolina Muchova, but either way, Sabalenka, absolutely one of the favorites. And speaking of one of the favorites, Elena Rybakina, no doubt about it, definitely one of the favorites coming into this year's French Open. Rybakina has a win over Iga Swiatek on clay this year. When I said before that Swiatek came in second in her first clay appearance of the year in Germany, it was Rybakina that beat her in that tournament. Rybakina also a semifinalist in Madrid. I thought really actually was outplaying Sabalenka in that matchup. Sabalenka was able to dig down deep, come back, and beat Rybakina, but very good showing there from Rybakina in that tournament. And then, of course, she had to pull out of the Italian Open, which is disappointing to see, but either way, I mean, when you look at Rybakina's game, she's so steady, she's so tough to beat, absolutely should be right in the mix of things here in this year's French Open. I can't wait to see how it's going to play out for her, the draw she gets and whatnot, but I absolutely respect Rybakina to be right in the mix of things in this year's French Open. And then also Coco Gauff, I'm going to put her into this category here of the favorites. Not going to lie, though, Gauff not having the best 2024. I think she hasn't really met expectations that a lot of people had for her coming into this year. Let's not forget, she ended 2023 so strong by winning the U.S. Open. Now in 2024, she had a good showing early on the Australian Open. After that, not so much, but she did just make the semifinals in the Italian Open. That's the reason why I put her on this category. Hopefully she's building towards this French Open. And let's also not forget, guys, Coco Gauff did make the finals of a French Open before, so this is definitely a surface that I think could favor the game of Gauff. Let's see if Gauff's able to capitalize and make a run in this year's tournament. We'll see. A lot of people expect her to. Obviously, we're going to have the answer to that question coming up here in just a few days. So those are your 4 favorites for this year's French Open. Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, and Coco Gauff. We'll see how it all plays out for all of those ladies. And let's not forget, right before this year's French Open, I will have a video doing a preview and prediction of who's going to win this year's French Open.